Welcome to the special live episode of the Future in Flight podcast, recorded during Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo 2025 in Lakeland, Florida. Unlike our usual studio-produced episodes, today you're hearing the raw energy and excitement directly from the legendary Sun and Fun Radio front deck. We'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Chairman Dave Schaubetter, Co-Chair Derek Lagasse, and the entire production staff at Sun and Fun Radio for their incredible work in making this broadcast possible. I'm joined by a very special guest co-pilot, Jordan Peet from Aviation Tram Talk, for this unique live broadcast experience. In this episode, you'll hear conversations with several fascinating aviation personalities, including Ben Myberg, crew chief for Kyle Fowler's Go Easy Aerobatics, who discusses the intricate details behind Kyle's night air show's pyrotechnic display. We'll hear from Brooke from TL Sport Aircraft, who shares her journey from flight school graduate to instructor at Charleston Southern University. Tomcat Lizzie Havens drops by to reveal her passion for F-14 Tomcats and her quest to visit every displayed Tomcat in the U.S. Plus, we'll hear from Dom Perez, a young Sun and Fun Radio volunteer with deep ties to the event. And Tom Flavin from Aviation USA drops by to discuss the American Dream Tour and aviation education initiatives across the country. Throughout the episode, you'll feel the infectious energy of Sun and Fun as our host and guests share their passion for aviation while the night air show preparations unfold around them. So sit back and enjoy this unique glimpse into one of aviation's premier events as we continue our mission to educate and inspire the next generation of aviators and aviation enthusiasts. What is going on out there? Sun and Fun coming to you live from the Sun and Fun radio deck here. This is the first ever live edition of the Future in Flight podcast. I can't believe it. We're here to educate and inspire the next generation of aviation enthusiasts and aviators. This is a great platform. I'm joined by my guest host, Jordan Peet. You may know her from the Tram Talk. You've seen her out there, the Aviation Tram Talk, getting all of those stories. How's it been this week?
It's been good. All the interviews, I'm like, this might be in my top 3. And then another one comes, I'm like, this might be in my top 3. So it's going really good already.
And that's the magic of Sun and Fun 51. We're turning it up here at 51. Another person who's turning it up at 51 is Kyle Fowler with Go Easy Aerobatics. And we're lucky enough to be joined by crew chief Ben Myberg. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the night show tonight. Ben, tell us what is coming up.
Oh, man. We got fireworks. We have lights. We have a lot of fun stuff. So I don't want to spill the beans too much, right? We want to make sure that we have a little teaser, but it's a lot of fun. We basically load the airplane full of pyro, and then we go fly at night when we can't see very well, and we just shoot a lot of fireworks and have a lot of fun.
And now this is more pyro than Kyle shot off before, right?
Yes. So this is an all-new rack system. So it's a pyro system that we've been working on how many years now, right? And so we keep adding more pyro. And so what happens is everyone just looks at each other and goes, hey, can you carry 10% more pyro next year? And we're like, yeah, sure, why not? So we just keep building and keep making it more and more.
Absolutely. I've seen these racks, and I saw the ones before, obviously. I'm very familiar with Kyle's setup. And before was some great Roman candles. I mean, it was a great show. It was live, it was loud, it was light. But this one, it seems like the fireworks go on forever.
Yeah, so we definitely have a lot more fireworks potential to be able to be carried on the aircraft. So we streamlined the whole system. We also made it easier to load. So what happens is, in previous shows, we would load for about 6 to 8 hours of time, which means we would have 6 to 8 hours of labor of just wiring all the pyro together, basically taking them out of the packaging, putting the leads on, routing the wires, connecting them, and then essentially what would happen is we would have 8 hours of work for 8 minutes of boom, which is not really a great thing for someone that has to work on the airplane all the time, because you literally go, that's 8 hours of my work gone in 8 minutes. But now we have streamlined it, so we're down to about 2 to 4 hours. We have these new rack systems that essentially just slide the pyro systems in. The wiring is still there. You never get rid of the wiring, but it's a lot more efficient. It's a lot more aerodynamic. We can carry a lot more energy into the box. And so our downlines, our verticals, we're able to hold the verticals a little harder. And so it's just a whole new system that just allows us for more, bigger, better, it's all improved everything around.
Now, Jordan, I don't know how familiar you are with air show pyro, but it does sound like putting fireworks on an aircraft is dangerous.
It does. I don't know if I would be up for that.
Right? Like, how does this work? Are these? Tell us about the fireworks specifically.
Yeah, so it's essentially off-the-shelf commercial fireworks. So it's not like the Roman candles, the bottle rockets that you're going to go, put in your backyard and go launch. These are stage or theatrical grade units, right? So they're a lot more stable. It's not something that if you rattle it too hard or if you get it around some moisture, it's going to, go bad. It's a little bit more it's a production, right? So think about like a Cirque du Soleil type scenario where it's a theatrical production that's put on every night and like a Las Vegas show, right? You need stage quality. And so there's stage quality, fireworks that essentially get loaded onto the rack. So we have these racks, we call them the pyro racks. And what happens is we have different zones that we split out. So right now we have about 10 zones. And in the cockpit, there's a selector switch. So what happens, Kyle will select zone 1, and there's a trigger, essentially just like a military jet fighter, right? There's a trigger, and you push the button on your stick, and kaboom, there goes launching the fireworks. And so it's a mix of Roman candles and gerbs, and so it essentially just kind of mixes the lights that you see coming off, mixes the fireworks you coming off. Because what happens is, if you just shoot Roman candles, they're cool, but they don't always want only the Roman candles. So we kind of mix it with some gerbs, and we kind of mix it with the smoke, things like that, to make it a kind of a nice effect. And essentially, like I said, what happens is you just select the zone, hit fire, select the zone, hit fire. It's all choreographed in the music. So Kyle and I are in communications before he goes up into the box, and then he gives me a 10 seconds. So what he does is he positions himself into the box, and he says, all right, 10 seconds. And so I'll start a 10-second countdown. All right, 5 seconds. And then he's like, all right, play music now. And I'll press the button, and it plays the music. And then what I do is I actually stream that music to him in the cockpit. So we have a radio that pushes the audio from my phone up to him in the cockpit. So he can actually hear the music while he's flying. Because when he has certain sections of his routine, he wants to fire a pyro or one of the fireworks systems at that exact moment that the sound system does that. So it has a whole theatrical effect. And then again, once the music goes, it's a matter of picking the zone, hitting fire, picking the zone, hitting fire. Near the end, so we had like the breakdown scene, and once the aircraft's broken down, it kind of comes back up. Once the aircraft is back and going, then it's simply a matter of it's a fireworks show. Just click it and fire it, click it and fire it, click it and fire it, and then you basically just keep clicking until there's no more fireworks left.
And now, speaking of that job, Ben mentioned there's somebody in there helping Kyle choreograph all of this. That is actually Ben. So I know that he's got to rush off and got to join because we have a night show tonight, Jordan. So Ben was kind enough to slide by on his way to actively run this night show. Ben, I thank you so much for being here on the Future in Flight podcast. This was absolutely incredible. What a great treat learning how the pyro works for tonight's night show, man.
Yeah, hey, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
We'll see you out there, Ben.
Yeah, take it easy.
Wow, Jordan, what up? So are you going to the night show? Are you ready? You ready for all this excitement?
I am, and I'm really excited to watch it, knowing what all goes into it. From talking to Kyle and talking to him, it's crazy that we're just sitting there relaxing, and all this is going on behind the scenes. So it's going to be really cool. And like he said, they didn't give everything away, so we don't know what we're going to be watching tonight.
Well, that's it. There's still some surprises. They're going to have to tune in. They're going to have to go and look up because I have it on good authority. There are some surprises coming. We haven't seen this yet.
I'm so ready.
I will drop a little hint. I was watching the radar earlier tonight, and it looked like an alien spaceship maybe around. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that's about. What I do know is that we have Brooke from TL Sport Aircraft. She's joining us. She's got a really unique story. We're going to talk about her aviation adventure. She's got a phenomenal story. Absolutely great pilot. She's been to a great flight school. She's got a great story about that flight school. And so we want to welcome in Brooke from TL Sport Aircraft. Thanks for joining the Future in Flight podcast.
Hi, happy to be here.
Oh, great. It's so happy to have you. I mean, we talked the other day at the booth, and I got your story. It was absolutely phenomenal. So tell us a little bit about where you're out of, and tell us a little bit about your flying experience.
So I graduated from Charleston Southern University. They're a brand new flight school that they just started up in Charleston, South Carolina. So I graduated from there in 2023. I was one of the first classes to graduate from that program. And now I instruct for their flight school as well. So I've been involved in that for the past few years. I'm just about to end my journey there probably in the next year and start my airline career.
That's incredible. Kind of the natural progression for a lot of flight instructors is they instruct and then they go on to the airlines where they can make even more difference. And it seems like you've really seen a lot of this Charleston Southern transition. I mean, this is great. A big thing. They've opened up their flight school, and here it is. You're kind of behind the scenes on that. Tell us a little bit about your experience with that.
So it's been a very fun experience. So they acquired our flight school just this past few months. Originally, we were Carolina Sky Flight Training. Chucktown Flight Training, and then we were Craft Flight Training before that. So we've been a lot of different names, a lot of different companies. I've had the pleasure of working for all of them through various different jobs in sales, in the maintenance department, and then they hired me on as a CFI. And now I'm working for Charleston Southern, the school I graduated from. So it's great getting to work for my alma mater and work with the students and get to, change their lives on a day-to-day and that kind of thing.
It really seems like it. I mean, that's the energy that we can pick up from Brooke, is that she is like so many people in aviation, is that She knows that there's a next generation out there. Same thing as that we know here at the Future in Flight podcast. They know it. You guys know at Aviation, Jordan, and it's that we need to cultivate the next generation. So being out there and being so active with these new crop of pilots, what are you seeing, and where do you see the industry going?
I see it moving in a very interesting direction. One of my main goals as an instructor is to make my students better than me. I want them to learn from all the things that I did and take all the experiences and information that I have and be better than me. And I think that's going to be the next move of the generation, is we're going to learn a lot from them. They're going to have a lot more knowledge. They're really going to dive deep into just aeronautics and flying and airplanes and teach us a lot of things about that.
Well, that's it, Jordan, is that there's so much information available out there, right? It's that we have a generation that it has information at our fingertips. And it seems to be a common theme that this younger generation, right? In fact, your generation, Jordan, is really diving deep and getting deep into the subjects. What do you think about where do you see this future of aviation with these younger kids?
Yeah, I think it's all up and positive. There's so much new technology, and like she said, I feel like people are so encouraging more than ever right now. So I think they have the support, they have the resources, and I just see it being great for all of them.
It really is. This is a new generation, and aviation is about pushing that envelope forward. I think you're right. That is a really great statement, Brooke, is that this generation could be the one to advance the ball even a little bit more forward. And it's great that we're a part of that, you as an instructor. And then moving on to the airlines. Tell us a little bit about what you hope to do next.
So I'm hoping to get hired by a regional. I have my sights set on a few, but I'm in the process of applying and doing that kind of thing. I'm just about to hit my ATP minimums. So I'm super excited. I attended the career fair here, which was a great experience. Got a lot of good information. Obviously met you guys. Got to talk to you guys a little bit. So I'm super excited to hopefully get to apply to regionals and get hired from there.
Absolutely. And we definitely wish you the best of luck. We can't wait to fly with you. We can't wait to board that aircraft when you're pilot in command. Now, speaking of pilot in command, you flew in one of these lovely TL Sport aircraft. Tell us a little bit about the TL Sport aircraft you flew in.
I did. So I flew in our TL Sirius. It was a wonderful experience. I flew it down here from Charleston. So this was my first light sport experience that I had. It was great. It was wonderful. It's the most comfortable aircraft I've ever been in. I've flown a lot of different airplanes as a flight instructor in my time with the flight school, and I think it was one of the most comfortable airplanes I've ever flown. I was vegged out in there, laying out my seat, my snacks, and had the pleasure of flying in here. Flew in on Saturday. Wasn't very busy, but it was a very fun experience, and I'm very happy to be here.
And you flew in with a great, you just have a great crew at TL Sport Aircraft. I absolutely love the TL Sport family. Really just a great group of people. Great aircraft, and really have enjoyed seeing everybody this week. Before we let you go, thank you so much for joining us, Brooke. I really appreciate all of your time. Now, you mentioned flights, and one of my favorite questions is, what is your favorite in-flight snack?
I think my favorite in-flight snack is probably a Rice Krispie treat. If you've never had one up at altitude, I promise you it tastes better.
That's actually true. That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to have to go in on that. I'm going to have to try it. Thank you for the hot tip. Thank you for being here and joining us on the Future in Flight podcast, Brooke. It's been absolutely amazing to have you here.
Yeah, it was great talking to you guys. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Wish you all the best of luck in your career. Look forward to keeping up with you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Well, Jordan, that was that was pretty great. I mean, I'm learning something here, right? I didn't know that a Rice Krispie treat, although pretty calorically dense, is a great snack at altitude. I didn't know there was any different flavor.
See, I mean, you can learn useful information. You can use snack information, everything on this podcast.
And snack information is very useful information.
I think that might be most important.
What tastes different about the Rice Krispie at altitude? For anybody out there that's like, I'm a Rice Krispie fan, I think I'm gonna go up and try it.
Honestly, just something about the texture of it at the altitude. I don't know how to explain it. You really just have to experience it. It's a whole experience.
Okay, all right. Well, speaking of experience, we are going to experience an absolutely unique person, a one-of-one. That we've got Tomcat Lizzie right here. Lizzie Havens is joining us. She is one of the ace reporters here at Sun and Fun Radio. She's also a very avid F-14 Tomcat enthusiast. So she's going to tell us about seeing, I believe, 2 new Tomcats this year, and there's even a map. Did you know there's a map of Tomcats?
I did not.
Yeah, right? Like, this is really cool. I'm learning so much here. I can't wait to learn. So welcome in, Lizzie, to the Future in Flight podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, man, we are happy to have you. We've seen you out working really hard this week, trying to cover all the amazing stuff happening at Sun and Fun 51. There is so much that's turned up here at 51, of course. What has been your favorite thing you've seen so far this week, Lizzie?
Oh, so far. It's hard to say. There's a lot. Fly In is really great. I interviewed them last year. They were new, up and coming. This year, they've almost quadrupled their listings. Fly, INN, fly in. Pilots only, pretty much short-term rental. It's awesome just seeing the business develop over the year. It's
And that's
really
great.
cool.
It is really cool to come back and see vendors who are just killing it year after year and doing so well. Like our friends here at Legendary Aviation Coffee Company. They have had amazing growth. It's been full throttle, heels to the floor, so much so that they are giving back here at this Sun and Fun. They're giving back 10% of all their sales, of course, in the hangar, all their bag sales. They're making this month, April, Sun and Fun month, where they're giving back 10% of all their bag sales online. And if that's not enough, 25% of their cup sales on the flight line. They have coffee and some phenomenal teas. I had a mango tea today that was awesome. 25% of that's going back to Sun and Fun to help fund the Aerospace Center for Excellence. And that's the things that our vendors do here, right? This is great. It's not only a show. This is funding the Aerospace Center for Excellence. This is funding the next generation. So it is awesome. We talk about the next generation. Let's step back, talk about the previous generation and some F-14s, a little Top Gun action here right now. I'm feeling pretty Top Gun. We'll give a hats off to the incredible, the amazing Val Kilmer. Rest in peace for him. Iceman, of course. Let's talk about these F-14s. Tell us about how you got into the love for the Tomcat.
So I grew up in Pensacola, had the Blue Angels, of course, and I never really got super into it until I left. You kind of don't appreciate what you have until you don't have it anymore. Moved to Jacksonville, got really into it, and just happened to stumble across in my research that the Tomcat was originally initiated as well as retired on my birthday. So I'm like, oh, that's definitely my plane. It was cool enough already, but now it's definitely my plane. So I've just kind of deep dived into it. There is a whole map. If you look up where are the Tomcats, you can find a map of all of the Tomcats. It also has where some Tomcats have laid to rest as well, but it has them on display. My goal is to ultimately see every single Tomcat that's on display, at least in the U.S. I'm not sure if there's some international. I haven't gotten that far yet. There's about 80 to 100 or so on display in the U.S. It's a lot more than I kind of thought initially. Yeah. I'm at around 25 now. Okay. I just got 2 new ones this year, like you said, Grissom up in Indiana, as well as the one in Charlotte at the Stellenberger Museum, which is phenomenal. We talked about that a little earlier this morning. Really, really great museum. The Grissom one has exceeded my expectations. Cute little outdoor museum, walk around, phenomenal. But I'm just trying to check them off. I've seen a few remote ones. I never would have imagined to go to Indiana for anything, but there's a Tomcat there, so that's where I went. Akron, Ohio is another one that is just really cute and much better than you think you're going to get in a little small town in Ohio. So there's a lot of them out there. I still have a long way to go. There's really cool ones all across Texas, Southern California, really just everywhere. So
where do you think the next one's going to be? What do you see as the upcoming Tomcat? Do you have one on your list? Like, that's the one I am going to. If I got 2 weeks off, I'm going to that one.
Charleston is the one that keeps getting away from me. We almost went in October, and then we were going to go up in February, and it just happened to snow. And the day before I was driving up there, I pulled up the website to pre-buy my ticket, and it's closed. So it's the one that keeps trying to get away from me, but it's coming up next.
You know, if there's one thing I know about aviation and about life, it's that everything happens when it's supposed to happen. Timing is definitely everything, and the timing is going to be right when you see it, right? That'll be the perfect time. It's the magic of aviation. Now, if folks want to follow you, if they want to follow this Tomcat journey, or they're a Tomcat fan and want to hook up and say, hey, man, I'm another Tomcat fan, how can they find you?
Absolutely. I'm on Facebook as Lizzie Haven. It's pretty easy to find. On Instagram, I'm at Tomcat Lizzie, Lizzy. So you can find me there and follow the adventure.
That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Lizzie. We cannot wait to listen to your next interviews here on Sun and Fun Radio. We know you're going to be doing some absolutely great work here, and Jordan as well on the Tram Talk, the Aviation Tram Talks. We've got a couple of heavy-hitting interviewers here. I'm really excited. Thank you for joining us, Lizzie. Now, Jordan, we're going to have an aviation enthusiast join us next. I talk about this show being the show for aviation enthusiasts and professionals. Well, here is somebody who was reached by this very show. This kicked off his love of aviation, and he decided to come to Sun and Fun as a student volunteer. He's volunteered for the last couple of years in Sun and Fun Radio. He's edited, so all these great interviews you hear edited, many of them have been done by this young man here, and he's done some great field interviews. So I'm really happy to welcome in Dom Perez from Sun and Fun Radio. Dom, thank you for joining us so much.
Hey, Sean, thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. I see you out there working super hard in search of these interviews. Now, what made you decide to become a volunteer here at Sun and Fun?
So I've been coming to Sun and Fun my whole life. My grandparents and my parents introduced me to it, and I've been here every single year I've been alive, actually. And because of that, I got introduced to the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, our high school right on the Sun and Fun campus. And through the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, I've had the opportunity to volunteer at Sun and Fun, and my choice was Sun and Fun Radio. So I'm here, and I've been here 3 years now.
And I tell you what, we're really grateful. We're really happy to have all the volunteers. It is the volunteers that make these shows go. And what's really important is like we talk about in the aviation industry, Jordan, is there's a lot of folks on the older end, and we love them. We love the original volunteers and the originals in the aviation industry. Unfortunately, they are getting older, and to see this next crop of students, of volunteers, of young, fresh faces come in and get to learn from those folks is absolutely phenomenal. It's a part of what we do here is to inspire the next generation, and you can see that happening at these air shows.
For sure, and I love it because I have volunteers that I literally call my grandma and grandpa, so I know they're great mentors, and I'm sure you've met some that have been mentors to you, so the fact that there's that bond is so awesome.
And what do you feel like the best piece of advice you've received from an old-time volunteer has been?
Honestly, the best advice I've heard is just get out there and talk to people. There are so many unique stories at Sun and Fun, and we've got some amazing people here. And you can't ever talk to them all. You come back every year, you'll meet new people, you'll hear about new things, and you'll learn new things. So just get out there and talk to people.
And even if you talk to the same people over and over, it's been a year since we've seen them. There's likely so many things that have happened, so many developments in the vendor area. We have great vendors here at the 2025 Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. That's one of the things is just world-class vendors and products. The innovation preview showing new things. So you can come here, you're right, and never see the whole thing. Don't tell Paradise City, but last night was the first time that I've been out to Paradise City, and I've been coming here 4 years now.
That's crazy, but it was fun, and they're going to have live music tomorrow, so I definitely recommend checking that out.
Okay, well, that's it. We're going to check out the island and Paradise City yet again for the live music. Last night it was phenomenal. It was a great feel out there. I know, Dom, you went out to Paradise City today. What did you see out there?
Yeah, I saw some really unique stuff, like aviation ranches out there. They've got some hot air balloon baskets they're showing. And they also do custom actual balloon parts, and it's really interesting. They have the fabrics there they'll show you. And there's, of course, the awesome Stoll stuff and all that.
Of course, the Bush Wheel Base Camp is absolutely the hottest ticket out there. Shout out to Anitra Goddard, chairman of the Bush Wheel Base Camp, the Stoll Queen herself. She is just she has worked so hard to put that Bush Wheel Base Camp together. And judging by the crowd, I mean, I went over there and I couldn't even see her. I went for an interview and she was just socked in behind some people. So, you know, that's the way it goes at Sun and Fun. Sometimes you're looking for somebody and they're busy, and that's great because they're talking to new folks. Now, are you going to stick around for the night show, Dom?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see Long Easy and all the pyrotechnics and stuff. It's beautiful always. I saw the night show for the first time last year, and it was definitely a unique experience. I'd recommend everybody see it at least once.
Definitely. I mean, world-class fireworks. The night show is a sensory overload. I mean, there's so much. What is your favorite part, Jordan? What do you love about the Sun and Fun night show?
Honestly, everything, because there's always something new each year, but I think it's just really cool seeing people who have never seen it. Like, I'm excited for you, honestly. We brought my cousins who have never been to an air show, and they've been asking me to describe it, and I'm like, I can't even describe it. You just have to see it. So just seeing the joy in all the kids' faces, and it's just great.
And that is what air shows are about. Smiles on faces, making memories. That is aviation. That's it. It's inspiring us to do and be better than we are. And that's a theme of Sun and Fun 51, right? Is that inspiration to push forward and to move that envelope forward, which is one of the things that we're doing at the Future in Flight podcast. It has been a real pleasure to partner with Aviation USA, absolutely the leading youth aviation magazine. And if I may for a second, Jordan, your dad, Jacob, is a game changer. Okay, Aviation is a game-changing magazine. Your dad himself is a game changer. I'm sure you know all this, but when he came and said, hey, do you want to consider partnering with Aviation and make a podcast? Yes couldn't come out of my mouth fast enough, right? We didn't have the details down, but it's been an incredible experience, mostly because I get to talk to him on a weekly basis, right? And he has so many different ideas.
Yeah, I would say it was a match made in heaven because, like you said, he's great. He's my dad, but I can still hype him up because this idea of everyone supporting everyone, you know, like when we have you pick up one of our magazines, yes, we want it to be for the youth, but we also want someone who's maybe older to be able to see theirself. And I think you do great at really getting everyone's story, and you're very good at talking to people. So I think it's really great having you on the team and doing this podcast.
Well, it is a great team to be a part of, and I hope that the listeners are getting a great experience out of this. And judging by the responses to the first couple, they have been very excited about this show. Now, I don't want to tease too much, but we've got some really good stories from Jordan coming up. Tell us a little bit about the pieces that you're doing coming up on the Future in Flight podcast.
So I'm really excited, and what I will say is if you're looking for scholarships, maybe listen and tune in. And if you're into watching influencers, or if you're an influencer, listen in, because I'm covering all this stuff.
And it's awesome having you cover the stories, because we get to hear a little bit more from you. We love the Tram Talk. You do such a great job, and it's great having you get in depth and bringing these great stories to the individuals. So it's been a great partnership as well. Guys, if you're looking to find the Future in Flight podcast, you can do so on all major on-demand audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on TuneIn. We're on iHeartRadio. You can also find us at thefutureinflight.com. Jordan, tell us where we can find Aviation.
You can find us on Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube.
And that's it. You want to go and you want to maximize your time in the aviation community. Go there, check us out, say hello, become a part of the Future in Flight. It takes a team to move us forward. So we hope you subscribe. We hope you leave us a review. And we hope if you're here at Sun and Fun, you're going to check out the night show. That's where we're headed in just a few minutes. And Sun and Fun Radio is going to have all of that coverage coming to you right away. Dom, thank you for joining us here at Sun and Fun Radio, live on the deck with the Future in Flight podcast. Guys, for the Future in Flight podcast, my name is Sean Starker. I'll see you out there and up there.
Hello, this is Trevor Semino from Chart It All. You're listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Looking to enjoy the air show up close and personal? Want to be right where the action is? Come to the preferred seating area, which is located on the flight line, right in front of the announcer stand. You'll have access to restrooms, some shaded areas, bag storage, and complimentary water. Seating is provided, so you don't even need to bring your own chair. All-day access to the preferred seating area is just $25 per person in addition to the regular admission, and a separate ticket is required. More information and ticket purchases can be found online at flysnf.org.
Hey everybody! Sun and Fun has invested in providing a better Wi-Fi experience for its guests. We are pleased to offer free Wi-Fi in most of the core areas of our campus. Just sign into the network named SNF Free. That's SNF Free.
Are you looking for a part or an instrument to help you complete your latest project? If so, you could come down to the Parts Exchange and see if they have something that fits your need. Not building anything? That's okay. You can come out and add to your memorabilia collection or find that next office, studio, or living room aviation piece. The Parts Exchange is your place for aviation parts and pieces for whatever it is you desire to use them for. The Parts Exchange is located in Hangar E.
Get ready for high-flying action at the 2025 Academic Drone Soccer Student League World Cup. Experience the thrill as top school and college teams from around the world go head-to-head in this fast-paced, full-contact competition. It's an electrifying mix of technology, teamwork, and high-stakes strategy. This year's tournament features standout teams from across the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Turkey, all vying for the ultimate title. Join us for all the action in the Aerospace Center for Excellence Pavilion from 3 to 8 p.m. on Thursday and Friday.
After an action-packed day at Sun and Fun, unwind with live nightly entertainment at the Corn Roast stage in the campground. Savor the taste of freshly roasted corn and soak in the lively atmosphere as the sun sets. With great music, good company, and the perfect evening breeze, it's the ultimate way to wrap up your day in aviation paradise. 6 to 8 p.m. every evening. Performing Monday and Tuesday will be Mountain Brew Band, Wednesday and Thursday, Rusty Trumpet Band, and Friday and Saturday, Eli Mosley. Hey Sun and Fun fans, we have a new area called the Sandbar, which will be co-located with our light plane area in Paradise City and will house food trucks, a large shade tent, picnic tables, and benches. The best part? Sun and Fun Radio will be piped in so you won't miss a single thing from our great interviews to the daily air shows, night shows, and sunset aerial circus. Turn up the fun at 51 and get your tickets now for the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida, April 1st through 6th, 2025.
We've got the Whip Air Caravan, which we call the Yukon. This is a 25% shorter takeoff roll and no loss in cruise speed. So this thing is an absolute monster in takeoff and climb.
Can you hear that behind me? That's the sound of innovation, and it took center stage Monday night during the Sun and Fun Innovation Preview. Sun and Fun Radio was there to cover all of the excitement. The annual Innovation Preview showcased the cutting edge of aviation technology, with industry leaders presenting their latest developments that promise to reshape the way we fly. From digital flight instruments to revolutionary aircraft designs, this event highlighted the incredible pace of innovation in general aviation. Let's take a look at some of the most exciting announcements. The digital revolution continues to transform cockpits across general aviation. Jim Turner, general manager of Kelly Manufacturing Company, introduced their latest line of digital instruments that make upgrading from traditional steam gauges simpler than ever.
Going digital is easy with RC Allen instruments. Easy to install, power and ground basically on most of them. Fits in standard panel cutout. You don't have to add anything or take anything away from your panel. We even give you the screws and the plugs. Multi-voltage works from basically 9 to 32 volts, so you don't have to worry about the voltage of your aircraft. Reliable and solid state, FAA and TSO.
Safety innovations were a major theme at this year's preview. Abid Faruqi from Silverlight Aviation introduced a groundbreaking safety system specifically for gyroplanes.
So GWS, or gyroplane warning system, a new technology that actually warns the pilot by audio that 4 or 5 seconds before something drastic will happen, it will actually warn the pilot that you're about to make a mistake that will cause catastrophic event, so they have time to react and essentially abort the takeoff. Similarly, it will also warn them about in-flight emergencies, like if they're going to low Gs.
This predictive analysis technology could be a game changer in preventing accidents, particularly for pilots transitioning from fixed-wing to gyroplane flying. By providing critical warnings before situations become unrecoverable, Silverlight's system addresses one of the key safety challenges in this growing segment of aviation.
And now, back to the Sun and Fun Radio deck, brought to you in part by Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
And we're back live from the deck with the Future in Flight podcast, coming to you live from Sun and Fun Radio, Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo 2025. We're here with the Future in Flight podcast, talking about inspiring the next generation, because that's what we do. And we talk about inspiring the next generation, Jordan. One of those, the key pieces of Aviation's strategy is the Aviation American Dream Tour, an absolutely phenomenal tour that is reaching out and connecting with a bunch of kids in the high school arena. So tell us a little bit about the guests that we brought in from Aviation.
We brought Tom in, and Tom has actually been on the road grinding it out, doing the American Dream Tour. He was just in Louisiana and came straight from there to here, so we'd love to hear all the highlights from that.
Thank you so much, Jordan. We just came back from Lafayette, Louisiana, where one of the Aviation American Dream Tour stops was planned for months, and it was awesome. We had 30 individual organizations or companies represented, and well over 45 individuals who were leaders in the industry, everything from an ag aviation pilot to a commercial airline pilot, and many military leaders were there as well, from the Louisiana Army Air National Guard to U.S. Coast Guard and Space Force. And we had meteorologists and air traffic controllers, and just people that cared and wanted to share their mission, their journeys with young people. And there were over 200 students from the David Thibodeau STEM Academy, and they're all in an engineering program, and it just lit up their opportunities for the future. They were all asking questions and having a good time.
Oh, that is so exciting. Are these folks that had been exposed to aviation? Are these people with an aviation background, or are they coming in kind of fresh?
They're coming in fresh. We were there 2 years ago, and we were invited back, but this was a whole new crew, and they had great questions. They had great interest in different disciplines, and so it was a lot of fun.
So being out there in the field, and I know that the American Dream Tour has had several stops. I've seen the pictures. You guys are really making a difference out there. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing in the overall picture of aviation education.
Sure. Well, there's so much out there. There's so many opportunities to get involved, but oftentimes it's not shared with the right audience. And the right audience is anybody that's young, and they don't have to have access yet to aviation or information yet. That's what we want to do, is get it to them every way we can. And we're just helping be a conduit or a place where they can go to share that.
Well, that's absolutely it. It follows with the mission of Aviation Magazine, right? There's just so much great information in there, and the mission is to get that into the right hands, get that to the right people. Because you're right, Tom, there is no shortage of information in the aviation space or any other space, but having a blind side to that, not being exposed to it, is a huge kind of a hurdle for a lot of these folks. You don't know what you don't know, and that was one of the biggest things that I didn't know. I mean, coming from aviation is a second career for me, so I didn't know how cool necessarily aviation was as a career. I always thought it was something cool. We had aircraft, we flew. I grew up flying Cherokee 6, and but that was aviation to me. It was general aviation. It was really cool. Or you could go be a pilot, a commercial pilot, airline pilot. Well, I didn't know you could become an ag pilot. I don't have ag pilots where I live. I live sort of in a city area, and that's not conducive. But that is a really exciting career, and that's one of Aviation's missions, is to reach out there and tell kids about the different segments of aviation.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, too, a lot of people just think pilot, like you said. There's this or that. But there's also other stuff that's not where you're flying. There's mechanics. There's flight attendants. I mean, there's really a career for everyone who has any interest. If you can't fly for whatever reason, you can find something. And I think that's really cool about aviation.
And even now, as we're in this great digital age, creators are making money in the aviation space, both entertaining and educating. And I know you've covered a little bit about the creators. Tell us about some of the channels that you looked into.
Yeah, so one of my favorite ones is actually Baron Pilot. She's really cool. I recommend looking her up if you haven't. Last year we actually had Flying with Bruno on the tram, and that was super fun. I mean, there's so many people. There's someone for everything that you're interested in, whether it's an airline pilot or a mechanic. Like, there's really pages out there for all of these people. You just have to know where to look.
Right, Chelsea doing just a great job. Chelsea Smith out there leading the mechanics in the aviation space. Jimmy's World, Jimmy Webb, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys, if you're listening out there and you're not busy on Friday night, 5 o'clock at the Jimmy's Webb Elvis Jet, there's going to be an Elvis impersonator concert.
Okay, I really want to go to that. I'm not going to lie. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's exciting, right? So,
Tom, will you go with us?
I'm there.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. You couldn't, wild horses couldn't keep me from that event. An Elvis impersonator at Sun and Fun, just another one of the many concerts that they're having here at Sun and Fun. Dennis Dunbar, the head of attractions here, he said, hey, I've got a couple surprises. When the head of attractions and events says, I've got surprises, you know this is going to be good. And it has been. We've had so many awesome things here. What has been your favorite that you've seen so far this week, Jordan?
I mean, really everything. Obviously, all the air shows throughout the day are cool, but I'm a really big country music fan. I grew up listening to Tyler Hubbard and FGL, so that was my highlight, but everything's been amazing.
It really is. Everything is first rate. Tom, did you catch the show yesterday?
I did. That was awesome.
Phenomenal. Another great show today and a great show tonight. How about Aviation? Is the Aviation crew going to check out the fireworks on the night show?
We've been promoting it for all week to people that are just coming here for the first time. We are telling them about it. I mean, there's nothing like Sun and Fun. It's just awesome.
It really is. It's a world-class fireworks, a world-class night show. And speaking of talking to people all week, I know Aviation has been hard at work talking to people with their annual Tram Talk. Now, how's that been going, Jordan?
It's been going really good. It's really cool to find people. We schedule interviews, so if you guys are listening and you want to be interviewed, you can slide into our DMs, you can text us, you can come to our booth. There's all kinds of ways too. But if you just see us driving by, wave us down. We love to just find people and talk.
Yeah, and I saw Kyle Fowler on the tram last year. So you guys got to talk with one of the guys that is in the air show tonight last year.
Yeah, that was so cool. And if you guys haven't watched that interview, definitely go watch it. He talks about his night show, so it's really cool. And if you are going to go to the night show, maybe watch that after, have a little premiere of the video. See him talking about what he's doing.
Little BTS right there, and I have it on good authority. There's a guy in a funny hat that gets interviewed on that Tram Talk, and they're really worth. They're all phenomenal. I know Skyline Baron Pilot, Valerie herself was on did a Tram Talk. So if you guys want to be in really good company, I think you should schedule an interview. Go tell your aviation story. I guarantee you it's good, right? Is it an aviation story? Yes. Well, it's good, right?
For sure, and I think a lot of people get intimidated by the word interview. They're like, oh, we're being recorded. It's really not that. I think something Sean does really good with interviewing people and that I've learned from him is keeping it very conversational. So when you jump on the tram, don't think about you're being interviewed and being recorded. I just want to talk to you. I want you to talk about your passion, and I want to listen.
Well, that's it. It is just a conversation, like we're having a conversation here with Tom Flavin, the business development director for Aviation. Tell us a little bit about what's in the future for the American Dream Tour. What do you guys have coming up?
We're going to West Virginia this month on the 29th, and we have big plans for Ritchie County High School. We're actually talking to people this week about participating, and people love it. They had no clue, and some of them are in their backyard, and they're saying, well, how can we help? And that's what we look for. We look for volunteers. We look for supporters in all kinds of ways, and anybody can help in any way. We have never turned anybody away.
Now,
so it's a lot of fun. If
somebody wants to help with that, if they're listening to this and they say, man, this American Dream Tour sounds like something, I'd like to go make a difference with Aviation, how can they reach out and maybe schedule something?
aviationusa.com has all of our contact information, phone numbers and emails, and they can call anytime or email anytime, and we'll get back to them. We're looking forward to working with anybody that wants to help move the needle for more pilots, more A&P mechanics, engineers, etc.
And that's it, because there is such a big need out there in the industry. We see that the trades are really just suffering for lack of interest. And you mentioned it earlier, Jordan, that it's not just about being a pilot. There are mechanics. You can design things, maybe design mechanical parts and pieces, upgrades, things that can be sold as kits, like many of the vendors here at Sun and Fun do. It's such a wide range of people in this industry, and we need all of them, from photographers to mechanics to pilots. And that's one of the great things about Aviation partnering with the Future in Flight podcast, is it gives us a chance to get out there on another platform, an audio platform. You guys have those great videos. Well, it's nice to join up and do a little bit of audio and get to kind of talk to the people in a different format. How has it been for you, Jordan, getting in the audio space versus the video space?
I love all of it, honestly. As a broadcasting person, it's cool. And I think for audiences, everyone has their own thing. Some people aren't going to take the time to watch a video. Some people are going to be driving, or they're going to be running or whatever, so they just want to listen to something quick. Well, some people, they don't want to take the time to listen, so maybe they're getting ready for bed and they want to watch something. So I think the fact that we have so many options for people, and also social media, there's something for everyone if they want to keep up with us, and I think that's something really great, especially in this digital age we're in.
And if they want to pick up a copy of the magazine, it's a phenomenal magazine. A lot of color, great stuff, got a great digital edition, I know, phenomenal, available on the website. Now, I was cruising through an FBO. I think I was in... where was I? I was in Tennessee somewhere, just north of Nashville, and I came across a copy of Aviation. I can't believe it. So is Aviation, do you guys go out and distribute to the FBOs?
We do. We have a whole list. It goes out all over the country. We also go to a bunch of schools. So, yeah, we're everywhere.
That's such a warming feeling to go through an airport. And it's something that you see in aviation, is that you go through an airport and you may see somebody's airplane that you know that lives 1,500 miles away. And you're like, oh, my goodness, so-and-so is here. That's absolutely phenomenal.
We're at 3,500 FBOs. That's what we do every quarter. We reach 3,500 FBOs. And on the front of every magazine, there's a QR code. And the people in FBOs say that many young people come in and scan the QR code and send it, to their friends and family, etc. Because so it goes more, it goes further out than the 3,500, and our distribution is way more than 3,500, but just the FBOs alone.
That's phenomenal. 3,500 FBOs. I mean, you really can take a good cross-country flight and have something to read, which is great. I picked up a copy, and hey, don't tell Lebanon, I may have swiped their copy, but it was great to read on the way to Oshkosh. So I had something to read on that little bit longer flight with a guy who is no stranger to Aviation. That's Ethan Cole. He is a contributor to Aviation, and he called. And he said, hey, do you want to fly to Oshkosh last year? Now, I had I packed up the motorhome. I was ready to go in the motorhome to Oshkosh. So the motorhome is 35 feet. It's got all the storage that you need and then some. And then Ethan calls up. He says, hey, do you want to take an epic journey? Of course I do. Well, we're going to Oshkosh. We're flying into Technium. You got 22 pounds of gear that you can carry. Oh, well, all right. I'm camping, too. So we did, and we made that awesome content, which we're working on to release on the Aviation channel. We can't wait to share that with the Aviation crowd, is that epic journey with the top content creator from Aviation. Tell us a little bit about working with Ethan and what that's like.
Yeah, so Ethan is my favorite person to work with, honestly. I mean, I know you know this from working with him, but he's just so easy to work with, and he's very motivated. We actually met him because he submitted an article to us, so if you're listening, you can also submit articles. We love that. You can get in contact with us. We publish every single thing that's submitted to us. But that's how we met him, and he's great at making content. He's great at editing. He has just the passion for aviation, and it really shows. So working with him is great, and everyone should check out that video because I'm really excited to see it. Any video with Ethan you just know is going to be amazing.
You picked up exactly where I was going with this, Jordan. That's phenomenal. Is that Ethan has been able to kind of contribute to the magazine, right? He submitted an article. It was a phenomenal article, and it kicked off such a great relationship with somebody who got to showcase his skills and gets to showcase his skills pretty regularly on the social channel. And that's the encouragement that I want everybody to understand, is that Aviation is open for submissions, as is the Future in Flight podcast. You have a great story? Hey, email us. Check us out. Let us know, and we'd like to see it. Aviation is there, open, ready for your story. In fact, one of the things that you guys say is, what's your story?
Yeah, and it's really cool because we'll be working air shows, especially Sun and Fun, and we say, what's your story? And seeing people's eyes light up. Sometimes people just want to tell you what their story is, and people don't ask that. So it's a really good thing that we have this outlet. And not only are you writing it, it's something cool that you can show people and put that on your resume, but you don't know, that might impact someone. Say you're older and a younger kid picks it up. Maybe they see their self in you, and that inspires them to continue their journey. So I think that's really cool how your story can impact other people.
That's it. What's your story? That's a great question for anybody out there. And if you're thinking, I'd like to tell my story, I think Aviation is just a phenomenal platform to do it. And who knows, you may indeed reach the next generation of aviation enthusiasts or aviators, just like we're doing here on the Future in Flight podcast. Here coming to you live from the deck at Sun and Fun Radio, the legendary front deck. I mean, there's been so many great interviews given here year after year by the Sun and Fun Radio crew. I'm just absolutely excited. They let us share a little bit of space. Now, Tom, what are you looking forward to most coming up for the rest of the week?
That's such a tough question because there's so many things going on. I mean, even just walking in a hangar, A, B, C, D, any of the hangars, you're meeting people that you get a chance to meet and talk with and share ideas and make things happen. It's incredible. And you go out to the flight line and you meet people. There's so many. It's overwhelming, the great opportunities here. And you can turn around and make something happen with a conversation. And so I can't say it. It's just an open-ended canvas to make something happen.
What a great answer, right? We can't pin it down because the possibilities are indeed endless. This is aviation. We're not ones to limit ourselves with the sky. They say the sky's the limit, but that's silly in aviation. It really isn't the limit. It's just the beginning. Once you hit the sky, there's a lot of room above you, and who knows what's going to happen. One of the things that you mentioned, Tom, is opportunities here. Yep, it's a great air show. It is a phenomenal Aerospace Expo, but the community, the opportunities, the people that you can meet just by stepping out and saying yes or hello. If you see anybody here, they're friendly. I promise they want to say hello, they want to talk, they want to tell their story, and that's just aviation. I love that you're keeping it open-ended and staying open for the possibilities because so many things can happen here. One of the things that I say about these shows is just stay open to the magic. You're here for an air show. I promise you. Hang out, maybe make a little effort, say hi, and the magic will happen.
For sure, and I think one thing I always tell people, especially that aren't in aviation, is it's like one big family. You really can't go wrong with making connections, and so just say hi, like Sean said, and honestly, you never know where that could lead to. You could make a new best friend, you could get a mentor, you could get a piece of advice. You might have just found someone who could hire you, so always talking to people and being open.
Absolutely. And if people want to talk to Aviation, if they want to come by, they want to say hi, they want to schedule a tram interview or conversation, rather, how can they reach Aviation USA?
We have X, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, and then our website also has all of our information, and YouTube, obviously.
A great YouTube channel. And I want to tell you about another great channel. That is the Future in Flight podcast. We just released our last, most recent episode on Tuesday. It features the amazing filmmaker Kyle Newsom. If you're not familiar with him, listen to the show. You have to get to know him. He has made a Blue Angels film that is absolutely phenomenal. It's among many of the films you can see on his channel, Airplanes and Aviators. Talk about great creators. And we're just so happy that Kyle would have joined us on the Future in Flight podcast. He's another person who is inspiring others into aviation, and he is one of the hardest workers out here. Just great. And in that episode, go listen. You might find some additional inspiration If you want to find additional episodes of the Future in Flight podcast, you can do so on all on-demand audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on TuneIn and iHeartRadio. You can also go to thefutureinflight.com. That's our main hub. So you can find all the archive shows, all the great stuff that we've put together. You can find Jordan's great reporting. You can find some of the great aviation-inspired stories there, and you can also find some of the phenomenal interviews that we do with the game changers, the people who are making a difference in aviation, like our guest for this second half, Mr. Tom Flavin from Aviation USA and the American Dream Tour. Thank you so much for joining us, Tom. You looking forward to the night show?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. It's almost time. We talk about magic. I mean, we're mere minutes away. The sun is setting in the sky. We're starting to get a little bit of that evening cool, Jordan. It's feeling like night show time. Are you feeling the magic here at Sun and Fun 51?
Oh, yeah, I can feel it in the air.
Yeah, it's definitely. The temperature is lowering, but we're about to turn up the fun here at 51 with the night show with Kyle Fowler, Go Easy Aerobatics, Redline, the hard-driving Redline. I know we have Starlight Aerial Productions. Did you catch those drones last night?
I did. That was so cool. And if you guys missed it, it was happening while the concert was happening. So it's so cool. You have live music one direction, you turn around, and there's a drone show. And I think that's just cool. And that's also another aviation career that you might not think of.
Drones are so hot right now. And our friend from Starlight Aerial Productions, also Great Lakes Drone Company, Matt Quinn, actually helped write the book on drones. So it's amazing to know people who are out there making a difference, but also making those rules, guidelines, and regulations for the next segment, the next group of people to be successful in their job, like Matt has. And he's about to put some drones up tonight. I think the wind has settled just a little bit, so I think we're going to get a phenomenal drone show. We have sailplanes. I mean, it's everything. And then, of course, at the end, the fireworks. So if you guys are listening to Sun and Fun Radio right now, you may want to think about heading towards the flight line. I think the sun is dipping in the sky, and we're about ready. We're I think just a few minutes from the opening act. I think I see the crowd gathering. A lot of folks are heading that way, and that's a big thing here on Wednesday night. Is we get that nice push, we get the crowd. I see them walking that way, so I think it's going to be just about time. What are you looking forward most to seeing tonight?
Honestly, just everything, because you never know. It's different each time, right? And we've got some teasers, so I'm excited to see what's new. But what are you most excited for?
Well, I'm excited because Dennis Dunbar said, hey, watch this. And when the head of attractions says, hey, watch this, it's going to be awesome. I know he's got some great stuff planned. All we have to do is to look up to be a participant. So I want to participate in this great success and see what Mr. Dennis Dunbar has next.
For sure. And the night air show last year was great, so I can't even imagine how you'd try to top that. I know they will, but it was amazing last year.
They are. I've had the opportunity to go and check in throughout the year. I get to come up to the Sun and Fun campus here regularly, and every time I come, they're going crazy in there. And that's their theme, is we're going to try to top it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they are. We're going to see in just a few minutes. Now, if you guys are about ready for a night show, it's just about that time. I think the Future in Flight podcast is wrapping up here in just a second. We want to thank all of our guests that have joined us today. We've had some phenomenal guests from the crew chief of Kyle Fowler with Go Easy Aerobatics explaining the phenomenal behind the scenes about how an air show works at night with the pyrotechnics. We had Tomcat Lizzie come on, longtime air show attendee, Sun and Fun attendee, Dom Perez from Sun and Fun Radio, and we had Brooke from TL Sport come and tell us her great story about getting into aviation. I think we've done pretty well for our first show.
And the fact that it's live is even better, right? Like, we really did that right now.
I can't believe that we just had our first Future in Flight podcast live show. Now, if you guys are listening and you want to get in touch with the Future in Flight podcast, do it. Drop Aviation a message and say, hey, remember that guy that was on Sean? He did that Future in Flight podcast? Tell him hi. And I'll get the message and I'll say hi right back to you, because that's what it's about. It's about aviation community.
For sure. I think it's something to definitely look into, and thank you again that you're doing this. You are a great host. So,
well, it's only because I'm joined by some really great people, like Mr. Tom Flavin from Aviation USA and the wonderful American Dream Tour that he told us about. Guys, if you're in anywhere, if you're checking out Aviation's page and they're coming to a city near you, I highly recommend checking them out. Tom, Jacob, you guys do an absolutely phenomenal job inspiring the next generation, getting out on the ground and doing that. So thanks for being here, Tom.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jordan, we're just about 2 minutes away. What do you want to say to the crowd? What do you think? Let's pump them up, hype them up for what's about to happen tonight.
Yeah, guys, I think you need to get ready. If you're not ready, turn on some music, get your friends. One thing I really love about the night air show is actually that the aviation crew, we all go together. So that's our new tradition. So if this is your first one, make it a tradition maybe. I think it's great. There's a lot of traditions at Sun and Fun. Do you have any Sun and Fun traditions?
Oh, I have too many that I can count. Several I can't tell on radio, but I'm trying to avoid some of those traditions, the traditional hangover this week. But I get into just being here. This is my tradition, showing up. Like Tom said, it's a blank canvas. Every year I come in, I say my prayers beforehand. I say, you know what, I'm dedicating this show to you. Whatever happens, happens. And that's how I stay open to the magic, right? And it hasn't steered me wrong. Guys, I tell you, I owned a gym prior to this. Great job, but it is not in aviation. I took that step. I got into aviation, and look, I'm sitting here with Aviation USA. You can't find a better group of folks, and they're all here. The whole family is here. We get to go hang out. We get to go watch a night show shortly, and that is just part of it. We get to go do other events. We get to hang out. We get to do lives from the deck. Guys, take that step into aviation. Just say yes. You never know what's going to happen.
Definitely. I will say there's so much going on. I see all the people walking. I'm seeing all the golf carts. Everyone's pumped. So, I mean, I'm getting more excited by the moment. I'm starting to get a little antsy. I'm not going to lie.
I know it. We're going to have to get up out of these seats. We've got about 1 minute left until it's time to go and hit that night show. And you're right, the crowd is picking up. It's got that feel to it. Everybody's seems like they've eaten, they've gotten their dinner. We see a lot of smiling faces walking by, and it's almost time to walk to the flight line. Guys, before you walk to the flight line, do me a favor. Go over to your favorite on-demand audio platform and hit subscribe on the Future in Flight podcast. If you listen to us, if you like us, leave us a review. It makes such a bit of difference to push the show to connect with more aviation enthusiasts like yourself. What an opportunity that we've had tonight. What a great time. It's been a great flight for the Future in Flight podcast. I think we got a lot of air. We had a great tour. It's about time to turn this thing around, bring it in for a landing, and let the real professionals get up there and do their thing for the Sun and Fun night show. I tell you what, thanks for joining us here on the Future in Flight podcast. Get out there and turn up the fun at Sun and Fun 51. This has been Sean Starker for the Future in Flight podcast. Guys, we'll see you out there and up there. Take care.
Hello, this is Piper Rose Lusky from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You're listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Here's some more info on our Sun and Fun hands-on workshops located near the main entrance of the Expo. Never used an English wheel, mallets, or beads to shape metal? If not, the metal shaping workshop is the right stop for you to learn. Have you seen a wooden props carved? If not, come see what it all entails from start to finish. Ever wonder what it's like to gas weld? Come give it a try. The Sun and Fun Workshops, where you can learn all the skills needed to build your very own plane.
Calling all aircraft owners, builders, and restorers who flew their aircraft to Sun and Fun, make sure to register for aircraft judging. From Tuesday through Friday, have your aircraft